Oh.
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 Oh. I did hit start recording. I just want to take note.
Welcome to Dice Quest and Chaos. For the last time.
One.
You know, the guy who runs the game for a little bit and does the thing as one of the people. To my right, I have.
Oh, that's me. I'm Garrison.
To his right.
That was fucking lame. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I don't have a character to say because I'm not playing a character.
Hello, I'm Crowe.
To his right.
I'm Adam.
And to his right. Thank you, Scott. And I play everyone they don't.
Oh, hey, Landon. There you are.
So we're gonna do like a kind of like Q&A little thing, which we have all thought up questions and stuff, right?
Hmm?
Gary, right?
Sir,
You
yes,
thought of
sir.
a fucking question, right?
I'm currently looking at his paper. It's blank.
It is a blank page.
I gave Gary a week. I talked to him about this. I gave him ideas that he could literally have just taken from when I said it.
Okay, I have some ideas in my brain.
Well, that's good.
In general, or like, don't do that. Why are you doing this?
You need to get it away from me, otherwise it's gonna keep messing with it.
Fucking ADHD.
ADHD brain.
Anyway, okay. So how we're gonna do this? I'm gonna split this up into arcs, and we'll go from there. Once I unlock my phone. How's everyone doing? Oh, that was my password. Oh shit. You ever like not too sure whenever you put your password in your phone? You're like, am I
Yes.
stroking?
No.
I have a very.
I've never experienced that.
I have a very long password. I just want everyone to know. Like once you get past a certain number, like a number of like digits, it like goes to like a big like a blank,
Yeah.
and then you can put in whatever you want. And mine's like nine digits.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, all right. So how we're gonna start this is we're gonna go from the when we started this whole thing to Etoile, so to meeting Gale. So before we met Gale, that's whenever y'all were in jail, and then you escaped jail, went to Karthac, saw that whole place, chased this furry bitch all the way through Enliseville,
DeGale.
and the furry bitch all the way through Enliseville, and then made your way across the first bridge to Etoile. So we'll start for any questions there. First off, how do you guys feel? That was back whenever it was just the three of you guys.
Yep.
God, it's been a minute.
It's been
It's
over.
been many minutes.
It's been over a year.
15 months
At
since
least
we
15
started.
minutes.
It's been over a year since we last started.
Yeah.
So it's been a crazy ride since then.
Let's talk about like your characters. Whenever you did, so that's whenever you first created the characters and went through that whole process of like learning who they were. What was the first moment that you molded your character and you're like, this is gonna be different? Like this whole experience is gonna be different than what we're used to. Because we played D&D together for a while.
Yeah. I'd probably say DeGale is definitely different from all the rest of my characters because I never like truly played a ranger, and then at the same time, whenever we first got together, he was wanting to like go into the first township that we first went into. He wanted to be stealthy, sir.
Get it over with. Thank you. None of us are morning people, by the way, if you're curious.
I've been up since 5. What do you mean?
None of us, mostly me, as a morning person. Sanji British. Continue. What?
Yeah. Anyways, this is not an anime podcast. This is a D&D podcast.
BDSM
Oh
podcast.
shit! I'm on the wrong one.
Shit. Wrong channel. My
I
bad.
need to go to the
Skip.
BDSM anime podcast. That's me.
This is a non-BDSM podcast.
Adam already gave that tagline. You're good. You're safe.
God damn it.
No.
Fuck.
Fuck you.
My train of thought has...
I hope your teeth rot. Anyway, you were talking about how, like, Digill's different from most characters you play or had played at that point.
Yeah, because he was a ranger, which it's probably like the first serious time I ever played a ranger. And with his background, it was just... I knew I had to play him differently because he had to be stealthy at some point. And then he ran into these two fuckers, and it was like, well, that's all going to hell.
Yeah, and that's from back when you were a barbarian.
Yeah.
It's like, wait.
Yeah, that served me very well. I totally used that.
Yeah, I gave you a whole whistle so that you could cast spells. Or
Bongo.
At first it was a whistle, and then you're like, this is stupid. And then you're like, well, I got a bongo.
And that was worse.
Yeah.
I think it would have been kind of funny, like, seeing a big-ass albino orc barbarian blowing into a whistle for help.
Cue any strength and conditioning coach.
Oh my god. I knew it was going to be different when we had to chase him across a continent, and I did it on foot.
Facts.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Like, what was that first moment where we were like, oh shit? Like I prefaced many times. I'm like, this is not like normal D&D. Like, I'm going to make this like absolutely like heart wrenching and.
Oh, I had like 50 of those.
It was the first one. That's what I said. God damn it! Listen.
This bridge was my first encounter with death. One
Oh,
of
yeah.
like 15.
Yeah. The bridge.
Bridge was bad. I remember, because the bridge was like at first I was like, I think the bridge actually would probably be the first one where I was like, this is definitely different, because it was like, everything was going normal for me. It was like, oh, I got help from my patron, was able to keep up with him across the fucking continent. And then the bridge, shit's going down again. I'm like, hey, help, please. Oh! Adam's dead.
Well, it's like, just like going back a little bit. Whenever
That was the last time me and Xanis liked each other.
Yeah, after that it was over.
Jeez. Woof.
And then whenever it looked like we might finally start to solve our issues, we fucking die.
Yep.
So I guess that brings me to like, whenever what did anyone have an inspiration for creating your characters? Like, whenever you first created your character, did you pull that from anything, or did you pull it from some? No. Cool. Well, like, and if you didn't pull it for something, like, what is one thing that shaped your character within the first like 3 episodes, like before they even got to correct, actually, like getting to correct it before the chase? Or were you guys still working on shaping your character? Like, when do you? Okay, actually, I guess a good question is, when do you feel like your character was fully formed?
I feel like DeGale's, whenever he fully formed, whenever the crew head went over into I can't think of the name of it now.
You talk about the forest.
Emra, Ulfeist, Vistok.
Emra. whenever he ran into
The
his
wasteland of the
dad.
gods.
whenever he ran into his dead dad.
Yeah.
And
Dead daddy issues, yes.
Yeah, dead daddy issues.
Daddy.
Is whenever I feel like he like was just fully emotional, just and connected with Timorphus,
The goat.
the goat. But yeah, that's whenever I feel like he was.
Okay, so it was you didn't feel fully formed until after that arc, or after this arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, the entire opening arc, I was still like trying to figure out exactly how he was going to exist.
Goblin stew.
Okay, that was after. I was like, when did that happen? Okay, yeah, that was after. Okay, do you guys have any questions for this? Because like this is the one where you, Crowe, you met the god, you met the actual spirits of the gods.
Yeah.
And then whenever Xanis tried it,
Cunt bag.
you met
You met your
Turlock
warlock patron.
instead. How do you guys feel about that? Because normally in D&D, it's like, oh, if you see something,
Everybody sees.
Yeah.
And then that never actually, did we ever actually tell each other what we saw? Like, I think we both said that
Yeah.
we saw something. Did we detail it?
yeah, you did because
Okay, yeah, no, I remember now. Okay, that's clicking now.
Talking about the graffiti.
Yeah, the graffiti.
Yeah,
whenever.
the graffiti. And then Bull's eyes was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
And I threw Xanis on his head.
See, I love it whenever
He
like
still doesn't know about it.
whenever one of our characters besides Gary does something like super special, Gary is like immediately like jealous and like I need to do that as well. Please, for the love of God, graphic. I need to look at this. Pass out.
okay, that brings
So
it.
participate.
Jealous.
But did you only do that because that character passed out, or did you like did you not? Is that the completionist in you, or like I don't want to miss this thing?
I think it was more of the because I had already rolled one check whenever he passed out. I had failed, I think, on the first one.
Yeah,
And
because you were the only one to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I ended up rolling a natural 20 on that check, and it
Yeah.
was like you was like, no fucking way, like
Yeah,
this is
I was-
actually going to happen.
A little pissed, but I was like very happy at the same time.
no, it was like part of me was just like, okay, wait, because I'm trying not to. I was desperate not to do metagame things on the podcast. So I was like, what Xanis, like, now that he's, like, passed out, what does Xanis do? Because he's clearly missing something here.
True, but also like my thing is like, if I see someone just pass out, I'm just like, the fuck is wrong with like for me, like even as someone who's highly analytical, I'm just like, if you're just like chilling out, just like you just like kind of like sit back and then all of a sudden you pass out, I'm just like, the fuck, like what? Like my mind wouldn't go to trying to figure out what on the wall someone saw. I was just like, do you have a pulse still? Like are you like, I would be going to like medical things where I'm just like,
Yeah, like is this person like
narcoleptic?
physically okay?
yeah. But like I mean, but this is a world with magic, and like your character said, and like I tried to justify it that way, but I had to know like if that is just something that
I also wasn't thinking about this in the moment, but now that I am thinking about it, it probably also would have, for Xanis, kind of tuned into the whole him having gone through like ancient ruins and stuff a bunch, and everything like that. He maybe not have seen one that made somebody pass out, but he's probably into the back of his head thinking like, okay, that feels like something that would happen from a magical thing on a mural.
Yeah.
So
That's valid. Yeah, and so like just let you guys know, like literally the only reason you guys got put onto that track is because of that role.
Jesus.
You guys wouldn't like me whenever I was crafting the story with our transcriber. We were like, okay, we're gonna do all these things, and they're like, come on, please put like something where if they miss it, they miss like a large part of the story. And I was just like,
I'm so sorry. I did not.
can you not put it underneath the table to
Okay,
cap
look,
it?
my brain is. All right.
So you're welcome for the ASMR if you got it. If you didn't, well,
If
good
you
job.
love ASMR of
Asmer. Anyway, but yeah, no, like we wrote the story. We were like, okay, we're gonna do this one thing. If they miss it, they're missing. Like, there's no chance to save this world at all. It'll be a completely different story. And then you saw it, and I was just like, fuck, this one's more work. Like, this one's crazier. Because it was like either it's real, like, dark, the world is going to end, and you would not know that you guys have, like, 100, or however long, guys, I said. You would not have that amount of time to save the world. It would be, I'm dealing with the benefactor and all of the... Like, you would still deal with, like, your things.
Yeah.
You just would not have the time frame and understanding of the world ending if you guys don't help it. So that was the whole thing where I was just like, fuck. It went from dark and gritty to high fantasy real quick. And so I was like...
True.
That makes a lot more sense, because
I mean, whenever... cracking on, like, episode 4.
I don't think I can hear you.
I refuse to hear you.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Adam.
Good.
Yeah, no, because whenever we first started this podcast, like, you and the transcriber was like, you prefaced it with like, hey, this is going to be a very dark and gritty world. And after I saw the graphic, it didn't ever really feel like it was dark and gritty. It always felt like high fantasy. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's my take on it.
No, I mean, also, like, I don't think I've ever thrown you guys into a world that didn't have... My world should, and I hope, feel different from, like, Gary's world whenever we're involved. Like,
yeah.
Like, when I think of dark and gritty, like, I'm not, like, whenever, like, this is going to be dark and gritty, it's like, this is just going to be fucking brutal. Mm-hmm. Like, the entire process of traveling, everything that you have to do is, like, I didn't go into, like, abhorrent detail about, like, everything you guys did, because to me, that took away from the story that you guys were trying to tell. And for me to add, like, I could have described it like Dark Souls or like Diablo, where it's like, this is a miserable fucking world, and like went into like how everyone looks and feels. And I did to a small aspect, but the thing is, like, you guys mostly interacted with each other, which I think that's why, like, the party fell apart.
Yeah.
Because there was no buffer
right.
to learn about each other. It was like, you just got to deal with each other until, you know, into the world. But yeah.
So over the time from when we first started to about getting past the chase and then into the other country.
Yeah.
How much time did it actually take?
So, I'm pretty sure you guys thought it was like a week or something like that, right?
Because the chase felt like a day, and then
the chase was overnight.
Chase was a night.
Yeah.
A single night.
That itself was a month.
Yeah. What the fuck?
So, the reason for the time dilation there was because you guys were tapping into like 4 different very, very powerful essences. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things, like, in, like, whenever you're watching an anime, you get, like, you kind of get nose blind to power. If you're watching Dragon Ball, you forget that they're fighting at light speed.
Yeah.
You forget that they're doing all these things. And I was like, oh, what would be something crazy? Like, each one of you is tapping into powers beyond your comprehension. They're all interacting with each other. I feel like this would, like, go, like, it would feel like a night because you're not in your normal, like, temporal, like, comprehension. You're in the moment, and that moment felt like overnight. And so, for me, because you couldn't comprehend what was happening, you were just in the moment, I felt like it was just a whole night, and in actuality, it was an entire month.
That's kind of crazy to think about, because, like, so from a bystander standpoint, How would that look like whenever if as a bystander?
So I would most like the thing about and Lisaville is like the size of China.
Yeah.
Like at least.
Fucking huge.
Yeah, it's massive. And so you guys if I were to watch you guys it would be like you guys were running at I don't know, probably 70 or 80 miles an hour.
That's fucking nuts.
That's the speed.
I am Cheetah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the speed that I saw you guys moving at real time. But I was because of the powers that you're tapping into, I don't think that. I think it would feel like a night for you guys, and I think because you guys were in the moment, that was that was an hour and a half of just a chase scene.
Yeah.
I think that was the part where we knew we had something special going on because it was we were all that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, I that's probably one of my more prouder episodes because that one felt amazing.
And everybody was rolling out of their fucking minds during that chase. I think I had at one point it was a 19 and then a 16 and then an 18 on some shit. You fucking you would have roll low, and then the very next one would be a 19. It was God damn it.
It's stop rolling well, Crowe.
No, never.
Oh yeah, if you kept rolling well, if you outrolled them so bad, you were literally jumping off that cliff.
Yeah, that was the plan at some point, but they were able to catch up. So
yeah,
This was before my curse set in.
Yeah. Oh my god, your dice curse.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I think it was still in effect.
No, I think it was. I think it was because I remember that was
the bridge.
Yeah.
The bridge was where it fully struck.
Because I didn't roll that bad before that.
Yeah, and his anvil, like any other
Oh, anvil bender was cracked.
Yeah. Any other questions for this opening, instance that you have, either for each other, for me?
Oh, so the bronze scale that DeGale had found.
Oh yeah.
That was
bronze scale.
that was supposedly cursed.
Yeah.
I just want to know what that came from.
I wanted to fuck with you guys so bad. It was a red herring. It was a normal ass scale from a dragonborn who had been traveling through and had died. His spirit actually did haunt one of the caverns that you guys didn't go down because you guys were focused on the objective. But no, he was a normal ass fucking dragonborn.
Funny.
That I was dude, I just want to fuck with you. I want to drive Crowe crazy.
Yeah, no, you drove me crazy with that.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't remember it during the next episode. It was already out of my brain.
Dude, I was dude, if I throw this little thing, whoever has it is gonna go fucking nuts.
No, because I had it in my inventory for forever. Whenever we got to the genie. The Dow genie.
Again.
Yeah, again. I was what the fuck does this do? It doesn't do shit. I even tried to attune with it, and it didn't do anything. And it was just goddamn.
It was just taunting you when it wasn't shit.
Yeah.
Dude, it made me so happy that you got because it worked wonders for me. Because yeah, it was bullshit. It was just literally nothing.
And the fact that I gave it to Gin as a peace offering is hey, whatever power you're about to tap into, here's my trade offer, a quote unquote cursed bronze scale.
And the thing is Gin's a bro because he did not give a shit. Well, that's later. We'll get into that. But yeah, no, that scale was meant to fuck with you. And you guys met, that's where you guys met Vizala, right?
Yeah,
Vizala. In that cave.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite NPCs I've ever made.
I love Vizala.
Shout out to Zavala.
Rest in peace.
Rip. But yeah, no, wow. Fuck yeah, because that's who all did you meet during this period? That was
Vizala.
Vizala.
We met
Jake.
Hemawili.
Hemawili.
Shale was the female dragon.
Mini Hemawili. Yeah, he met Shale.
Day one, our guards were Sneb and Vatrin.
Fucking Sneb and whatever his name was, the big human in Sneb. Sneb. The goat.
The boys.
And then you also meet your fucking caretakers for the bridge.
Yeah.
Which was
Alvar and
Alvar and Vigil. Which, oh my god. Originally, it was just gonna be Alvar. Or I forget. We had this conversation. Me and the transcriber had this conversation of like, who we're gonna have you guys as an, because I'm notorious for throwing NPCs at small parties, because I feel like if you guys are not gonna push the story, so I need someone to push the story, and it might as well be someone who's like, like Alvar. That was his job, was to push the story. Vigil was there to balance out Alvar being a fucking prick. Like that was the dynamic, which is like happy cloud. That was it. And then I was just like, oh, there's gotta be more things to it. And so me and the transcriber went into this deep dive of like, who the fuck are these guys? What are they doing? And then, yeah, that happened. Because that's the second half of the bridge, which we'll get to later. But yeah, how'd you guys feel about like the whole prison thing? Because that was like,
oh, the whole prison thing was...
because that was a mind fuck in of itself.
Yeah. Because everyone was wearing a collar, and then to be able to get rid of that collar, like, you had to... oh, fuck, I don't remember anymore.
Well, no, so it was like, if you listen to the warden, if you listen to the guards, yours was blue, you got more freedoms. But if you were more chaotic, it turned more red, and so you knew who broke the rules more, or at least who got caught more often. And I had a whole karmic system laid out until you saw the graffiti, and I was like, well, that's when they have to show, Alvar and Vigil have to show up now. Like, they were gonna show up regardless, but I was like, you guys saw that vision. They now recognize there is a different essence in existence at this point, especially knowing how strong both of them are and their connections. Alvar would know for a fact if somebody felt that, if somebody knew something, because like you guys are the only ones who knew anything about the deities. So that whole thing just like kicked off.
Gotcha.
Go. I was so ready for you guys to like learn about everyone in that prison and to like have this whole like moral dilemma of like, is it better to just go along with what everyone else is doing, or
We
like
did get out of there in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, you guys did. Because the graffiti, because like you guys supposed to like clean up the graffiti, and so like I was ready to give you guys like this like karmic points to like start shit, because like I think you guys did shift your colors a little bit for the collars.
Yeah.
Like
Mine stayed blue, and I think I'm pretty sure Xanus's.
Mine got red because I broke their cart.
Yeah, like it instantly turned like the deep like crimson red.
Yeah.
Like immediately, and then his was
like purple,
turning,
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe Adam's turned purple.
Couldn't decide whether to be mad or
Yeah. But yeah,
lion.
like I was super happy with that like opening, and then like you guys traveling to correct it, meeting Shale, Hemawili, which honest to God was a throwaway character. Where I was just like, I wanted him. I did not give a flying fuck about Hemawili, and then you guys were like, we love him, and I'm like, well, now he has to have a background, and I'm gonna make you guys like.
I couldn't have cared less for a while, and then he just stayed.
He stuck around like herpes.
Oh God.
Sorry, that's a reference to the show, man. Right, Grandma? But yeah, no, he stuck around. Alvar Vigil stuck around for a little bit longer. Anything else for this opening area?
What was the storyline that we just jumped over that you were really excited for?
War, wasn't it?
Which yeah, no, like there were the So you guys skipped over an entire continent of content.
Exactly. So what was like a
I had a war set up between me and the transcriber set up a war between the devils who took over Zulapon, who are extending their essence. Like, that's what I told you guys about. Like, that war that you guys heard about was in the making while you guys were in jail, and it was going to continue on. So you guys were going to meet, like, that tree, and in Lisaville that you guys met for the trio, or for like the new characters.
Yeah.
That was the tree trying to, like, that was the last ditch effort for anyone who was not on the side of, like, the Nine Hells to go and like, that was the last, like, essence of the prime material plane that was going to defend itself from the Nine Hells. And you were gonna fight from basically there all the way to Zulapon. So you're gonna go through battles. You were going to like, I had you guys ready to go in and, like, take out, like, cities, go in, like, demolish infrastructure.
I wish we did that instead.
I'm sorry.
Like, I had a, like, similar to, like, Gary's campaign. Like I had it set up to where you guys were not part of a rebellion. You guys were part of the last stand for the prime material plane. And I wanted you guys to, like, meet people and correct it. You had to literally change people's viewpoint on what is good and what is evil to back you guys up, because they're like, good is survival. Evil is just taking that away from people, and everyone does that. So what does good and evil mean? And I tried to spread that through the rest of, like, the campaign. Like, everything is morally gray. Everything you run into is morally gray. But yeah, no, like, that was, like, the big, like, main quest line. There were a lot of little ones, but, like, I was like, whenever you guys skipped over, I was like, rightfully so, because you guys found out about the, like, bigger picture. I was like, well, pushes off, like, 3 textbooks of stuff. Well, yeah. Any other questions for this opening area? We can move. We can also double back if we have quite a bit to get to.
So
It's like less things.
yeah, in Discale, the
Yeah.
city underneath
Cricket.
Cricket. Was there anything, like, more to it that we could have found out about it?
Yes, but it was more like it served its purpose already, because that was the first time, like, Discale was supposed to be, like, a taste into, like, it was not one of the more prolific cities in Cricket. It was definitely one of those cities where it's like, hey, this is just, like, this is what Cricket is. You have to go in. You have to, like, it's one of those things, like, you have to go in, like, find, like you had to play detective every time you wanted to find a city in Cricket, because there's tunnels that go all underneath it. And Cricket was heavily inspired by Dragon Age, the first one, because of, like, how the dwarven cities acted. I was like, that's great, but dwarves annoy me, because I hate how, like, fantasy and everyone's like, oh, only the dwarves can live underground. I was like, why not the dragonborns? Because I've always loved the idea. I want to say this. I love the idea of inserting themes from real life, like racism, which is not okay. But whenever you throw it into, like, a fantasy, like why are the dragonborn driven underground? Why is it a barren landscape above? Like, why does no one want this? And I think, like, because especially that's about the time Fizzbands came out, so, like, the gem dragons were a huge thing. And I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if, like, they were like fire giants and, like, red dragonborn and, like, gold dragonborn and bronze dragon, like, all of these, like, different. I hate that chromatic and metallic dragonborns hate each other. I'd rather everyone, like every other race hates dragonborn, and so they have to gang up together and they have to find camaraderie in being whatever they are. Very similar to, like, in real life, where it's like, yeah, we have people of all different races, even though we're all human.
Right.
getting together and like banding together in certain situations. And so it's like I love the idea of them looking past their like initial instincts to get together to continue their race, and then everyone like learning like, oh, because I think I had racial slurs for each. I think I had racial slurs for each like race in D&D. Like, and I am pretty sure like Dragonborns are like, or if they're chromatic, they're like dullards, and if they're or dullies or something like that, and metallic ones are shinies, or like some, or they're all scalies if you're not like one of those groups. And it's like a whole thing where like I hate that it exists, but it's such an easy avenue to provide hate, and you have to justify that in history to why that even exists. And like from a D&D expert, like a lot of us like play D&D to get away from the real world, and I feel like there's just certain things like you just have to work through to make it realistic. And unfortunately it exists, and I wish it didn't, but as a storytelling aspect, I didn't want to do a disservice to people being different, because if you're different from somebody else, you'll find a way to hate them. Like if you have hate in your heart, you'll find a way to make it like happen. And so that's honestly where that came from. But we will double back to this first arc at the end. The next one is Etoile to Ulfeist. So we have the first bridge to Etoile, meeting Kirik, the Mistress of the Sea, which you guys didn't know, the fucking young detective, the the 6-year-old
terror child.
Yeah.
Dampier Revelations.
Dampier Revelation. The fucking, you meet, that's when you meet Gale. That's when you see your brief existential crisis into genocide, and all the way to getting to the forest. So meeting Gen, dealing with Vigil and Alvar's like confluence of their issues, all of that. So, we'll start. Any questions here off rip?
What the fuck is my brother? Because he's not human.
No. So
He's a Titan.
yeah. So
Idiot.
So yeah. There's he's an amalgamation very similar to what was that character in your campaign? Clement. Very similar. So the idea of a rage-filled monster has always, I was like, how do you make rage work? And I was like, okay, well, I want him to be very similar to Batman, and to the fact that he is someone who is willing to go like any lengths. He does have a code, but he'll go by any lengths, and the only reason that he would go past those is rage. Well, he didn't have anything trapped inside of him. Like, he literally was an amalgam. Like, he was a... so, you know how Boldias and Co. were all, like, experiments. He was also an experiment, but an experiment from the benefactor. So, you had Qualar picking and pulling from different realities and throwing them into... So, he's an amalgamation of every Kirik and every dimension thrown into one. And that's why he could morph. That's why he was so, like... that's why he was so intelligent, but also so fucking insanely strong. Is because we've all played D&D. How many characters do you have that are really fucking strong? If you were to mash them together, how strong will they get? If you had to mash together every character you've ever played in D&D together, how strong would that character be? Insanely.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you ran into. And that's why I was like, okay, well, I can't really justify them just getting murked. What if he could transform into something else? And I think that rage kind of like went into... because I had finished Attack on Titan like a month before, and I was just like... If he one of the things that like spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, but like one of the things about like skip ahead a minute. But like one of the things about like the Beast Titan is that him crunching up stones just to throw is the most badass fucking thing I have ever fucking seen in all of like any creative setting. Like the fact he just
efficiency.
Yeah, he crunches it up and just pitches it like a baseball. And I'm just like, that's fucking insane. And I was like, how can I justify putting that in my game? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
If you're watching this live, sorry. Not sorry.
No, I said mute it, or I should skip ahead, but you can mute it for a minute. Like, you understand, and if you don't, you're the problem. I'm not. You're the problem. If not, watch the fucking show. Something to look forward to. Idiot. But yeah, no. He is an amalgamation of every Carrick in all of existence, in every dimension, and that's why he's fucking insane, and so smart. Oh, so smart. Anyway, any other questions?
Definitely did not know the chick that absolutely was going to murder Xanus.
The Mistress of the Sea?
Yeah, was the Mistress of the Sea, because that's... Damn, I didn't... Because he had some powerful beings with him.
Yeah, no, he had the Ghost of Ulthias and the Mistress of the Sea.
Yeah.
My brother.
Yeah.
Wait. I forgot about this Mistress of the Sea.
Yeah.
Atlan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to have a conversation.
Yeah. No, it was one of those things where I'm just like, obviously you have the Ghost of you have someone who is a walking legend. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, well, he's not even the right hand. He's the left hand. Who's the right hand? Yeah. He's not even the right hand. Who do I have to match that? And I was like, wait a second. There's a reason that no one goes into the ocean even ocean-dwelling races know their place when it comes to somebody. This is the person.
She's that bitch.
She is him. I was so... At the moment, whenever it happened, I was like, okay... This is kind of like a funny character, but I was like, there's more to her. I wanted, every time you interacted with someone, I wanted you to be like, who is this person really? Because every time you met someone, they're like, aha, secret identity. Or no one wants to give their true self away because they can't trust anyone. And her, she was just like, my job right now is to back up Carrick because we're going to take on all of the Western continent. So we're going to figure that out.
This is also about the time where DeGale killed his horse by Goodberry.
Goodberry pie!
Which is also about the moment that I need to ask you about where in the fuck Shadesilver's personality came from, you fucking...
I wish I could tell you. I wish it was planned, but oh my god.
Because it was right after Gorge died that Shadesilver just became the emo king.
Well, I think it's one of those things
Edgelord.
I think being a pet or a mount or any creature that has any sort of sentience around an adventuring party, especially if you survive, after going through everything that they have gone through, it's one of those things where it's if you brush with mortality, it changes your personality, abruptly.
Spit bars.
Someone put a beat over that.
Boots and cats. But no, literally, I think it was him trying to cope and also trying to explore his own personality, because that was whenever you opened up the avenue to a mount, and I was like, I'm not gonna just have a mount or anything that has any sort of sentience and not give it a personality, because that's not fair to the character. And I was like, I have to make a character for this fucking mount. No one talks to their fucking mount in our normal games. They're just except for Crowe. Yes, we have done it before, but it's it's never been a character that has such a strong personality that you keep going back to. And I was like, you know what? I need to give everything in this world needs a strong personality because it takes strong people to exist in this world. It takes strong beings to exist in this world. And that's where that came from. Because I was like, what does Xanis need right now? And I was like, one, Xanis needs someone to take the fucking edge off.
No.
Not that kind of edge.
You should have just given him drugs like you gave me.
Hey, Xanis wouldn't have done. Well,
I was munching on Alvar's fucking Heisenberg glass.
the fucking morphine from hell.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Dude, oh my god, that was so good. But yeah, no.
Give it some to Xanis.
when it came to Shadesilver, I was just like, how do I ground Xanis because he's going off the fucking deep end, but also not make it so he's a babysitter? And I was like, I have the perfect idea.
Make Xanis be the babysitter instead.
But yeah, so any other question? Because a lot happened. Like the Alvar Vigil twist happened here.
Yeah.
Yep.
What the fuck were those things that fucking put us in that situation? What the fuck was that?
Oh, the shadows?
Yeah.
So that was one of the random encounters because it was the moats. So the moats that existed on the bridge were to ward off the Kraken, and we're supposed to keep the Kraken away from you guys or any other sea monster. However, there were spirits of people who had not crossed. I pulled this from a creepypasta, one of my favorite creepypastas, the 9 miles or whatever it is, or 13 miles. I forget what it is, but it's my favorite, but I forget what it is. But like one of the thing, it's like every mile you go, whenever you finish, and it's like 9 miles. It's quite a while. And it's like once you finish this, you can have any wish that you want. And this one was pulled from like, you can, in the creepypasta, when you travel down the road, you'll see people appear, but you can't look at, if you look at them, if you look away from the path, they'll draw you in and you'll be lost forever. Like you have to stay on the path. And I was like, what about people who have tried to cross this bridge, paid homage, pilgrimage, whatever they did? What if their souls didn't rest? And so in this world, any spirit that exists for a long amount of time starts to become twisted because of how fucked up this world is. And so it was honestly just shadow spirits from past people who didn't make the pilgrimage. And so they manifested and they existed. And honestly, if they did not get Alvar that low, I would not have done that. But it was like the only time that Vigil thought that it could be possible. And you guys still almost killed Vigil. It was real close. You guys were like one crit away, or like 2 good attacks away from killing him.
This is one of the only fights I actually did really well in.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I didn't want to take that away from you guys, but I'm like, not only is this a story beat, but this is like someone who has been waiting for this moment for so many years, who has been has been powerful and will continue to be powerful throughout this. And I was like, this has to happen. And you guys were so close to making it not happen, though. It was so close. I literally started sweating a little bit. I was like, is it gonna happen?
I think I crit on him at one
Yeah,
point.
no,
Yeah,
no. You guys fucked him up.
I don't think I attacked him. I think my focus was on saving Alvar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cast
We were all
fly on
so
him. I was
low.
getting my ass kicked.
Yeah, and then that was during the fight, though.
I know, but like that was like after that. I don't even think I was like trying to attack. I was like, what the?
Yeah. Yeah. God.
Yeah, thanks, Xanis.
It's all Xanis' fault. Any other questions for this bit?
Yes. So whenever DeGale found out about the portal to the
airplane?
To the airplane. Was there a way for DeGale to actually be able to enter it?
Yes, but it was like one of those things, like you're not high enough level to do that.
Yeah,
like
okay.
you needed more, like if if Xanos would have cast Fly on you, yeah, you could have done that. Like if you would have grouped together with somebody to figure that out, yes. But as you guys were at that moment, there was no way. Like, you either had to unlock a certain relationship with one of your, companions, or you would have had to find a way to fly and get there. So, like...
Because DeGale went to go buy climbing equipment. And
yeah. Because you got close and you could, like, attune with, like, the plane itself. And,
yeah.
like, relate, basically, like, meditate near it. Mm-hmm. But you would not be able to enter it unless you had either more powers or so-and-so.
Gotcha.
It was essentially, you have not unlocked this area yet. And I was like, this is an area I would love for you guys to come back to, especially Etoile in general, because there was way more there.
Yeah.
There was just like, there were so many things going on. And then your very, very quick exit.
Yeah. Because this was
genocide over here.
Oh, also, the little boy detective, that Cruze's ward.
My nephew.
Your I don't know if anyone watches The Adventure Zone, but he is heavily inspired by Angus from The Adventure Zone. Because I was like, you know, it'd be great right now if in his fucking insane stupor, if Xanos got put in his place intellectually by this child, like this child genius, I was like, this would also be good for him, and I can justify it in these ways. And it's like one of those things where I'm not putting this character to knock you down a peg, but I'm putting in this character to put everything into perspective of no one has the information, no one knows what they're working with. And I also don't want to like ham fist like, oh, Vigil now knows about all this. Because, like, yeah, Vigil did, but, like, not... Vigil understood planes existing. He did not understand how, like, even Zalzimir. I did this to myself.
Alvar is Zalzimir.
No, he's Salzimir.
I have Vigil's name written down.
Yeah, Zelzimir.
Zelzimir, yeah.
Zelzimir and Salzimir.
Yeah. I did this to I was like, they all have to have similar names.
Idiot.
It's how dare I not remember my 1,000 NPC. But yeah, no, I was just like, this would be funny, this would be entertaining, but also it would be really cool to show a different aspect of Cruze, the ghost of Wolfheist. But yeah, and then you guys met Gen, after meeting your brother Carrick and all them.
Jerk off.
You guys went to the Feywild
For a minute. Almost died.
Oh, and
same.
Before that, we met our little friend,
we met Bubs
and Gale.
Yeah, and Gale, Bubs, Vivin.
Well, we met Gale
on
and
Etoile.
On Etoile,
yeah, because
he was in the prison.
He was in prison. Yeah.
Cruze was torturing him.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking loser.
God, yeah, and also one of my favorite people, Landon.
I miss Landon.
I miss Landon a lot. One of my favorite people, and he brought such an interesting aspect to the podcast where I was just like, I could listen to you fuck around with these guys for like the rest of eternity. Like this makes me happy. And especially the character he chose, which was so outrageous yet grounded and definitely helpful to everyone, and like in his own had his own like battles and stuff like that. It was a the character was greatly crafted.
I'll say this. Landon's character is the only reason we got out of that hobgoblin stew. That is the only reason that we survived.
Facts.
Yeah.
Him using that heat metal cantrip was the most genius shit I've ever seen in any D&D campaign. It was so simple and took out the biggest character for like 10 turns. It was crazy.
Yeah, because he had that, what was it?
It was like a metal leg bracer or some shit.
No, it was like a chest piece. It was like a breastplate on Oh, it was a big creature too.
It was the
frog
hobgoblin.
thing.
It was the frog thing. It wasn't the hobgoblin.
I thought it was the hobgoblin.
No, they
After
weren't
he
even
transformed.
goblins. They were.
No,
they're red caps,
was-
which are
Red caps, yeah.
which are fey.
I thought
And
they
then,
were
and then they
gnomes.
were led by a hobgoblin, and then he
No.
transformed.
No, there were
Was
two.
that it?
There were two because there was the hobgoblin, and then there was there were two big guys because there was the hobgoblin and there was
frog.
the frog creature, whatever it was.
I honestly don't remember.
Bullywug.
Yeah, Bullywug.
Bullywug, that's what it was.
that's
Sorry.
what-
Yeah,
No, you're right. It was
That's
just
what
the
I
one.
meant.
It was just the one. You're right, but it was the bullywug.
Sorry, I got it.
Yeah, the big thing that showed up in Transform was the
Yeah.
fucking alpha.
Right,
That,
that was the
almost
second.
yeah.
Yeah,
almost took
Yeah.
my head off.
Clyde. Clyde the werewolf.
Clyde, dude.
Then the man's just like, oh yeah, he gets a little bit ambitious. No shit.
Yeah, and then you guys met Nemea, like officially.
Bitch.
What the fuck? I met her twice. What the fuck?
I will neither confirm nor deny. Wait, what do you mean? What the fuck? Which part?
It was like one part was in a dream where I talked to her, and then like she's like, I'll see you in a while,
In a wet dream.
and then it was the next morning.
Yeah, that was. I mean, obviously that was not her.
Okay, which one was which?
The second one was the real one.
Okay.
The first one that was like, I'll see you in a while. Like that was not her. That was not her at all.
And you're not gonna tell me who it was, are you?
No, because that will be one of the anomalies.
Okay.
Because that was the benefactor telling someone to chime in,
All right.
which in of itself is
I'm just happy to know that I was right, because that was my guess. Was that the one in the dream was not her?
no, it was not. But yeah, so you met Gen, you officially met Nemea, and figured out how powerful she was,
Yeah.
and how powerful Gen. Like you guys met heavy hitters this whole thing.
He made me.
Gin was my favorite one to meet though, because we're just telling Gin everything we've been through, and Gin's just like, who the fuck are you?
Well, it's like he's out of the loop, but he's not like ultra powerful or anything, but he's still a powerful genie. Like he
feel like he's
holds
like
down
a
the
hippie.
crucible by himself. What?
I feel like he's a hippie kind of genie.
Oh, very, very. He's just like, dog. I'm just here to make deals, and, make people's wishes come true. Like, he's like, I'm here for love, peace, and hair grease. So like, let's go. But we can double back to this arc, but we'll go to from there for getting into Ulfheist, meeting Bulldias's family, getting to the revelation of Diabolus, dealing with all of that. I'll throw on learning Alvar's memories to this portion because I feel like it's more applicable to this than the last one. Anyway, so learning about Alvar's memories and going through Ulfheist into meeting your Diabolus's entire family, figuring out that he's an experiment and was bred into, learning everything you guys learned.
Found out his mom was dope.
Yeah. And then leaving very quickly and getting to Amura. Like that, and seeing Cerberus.
pussies.
Seeing Cerberus, last thing you saw was Cerberus looking at you guys as you guys were, yeah. So, any questions here?
Dixie Twitty, the
What
air
the fuck
cockroach.
was
Oh
that?
yeah. I
Wait,
forgot about that.
no. Okay, answer that first. Don't let me forget that I remembered something.
Dixie Twitty.
Yeah.
I love the irony in that
Dixie
last
Tweety.
statement. Don't let me forget that I remembered something. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Shut up.
Well, okay, so this was actually something that was very so as you guys know, one of the most prolific people in my life was my Grammy, and I was like, I wanted to cement her into something that won't ever go away because the internet lives forever. And so her name was Dixie, and her favorite character in Looney Tunes was Tweety. And I thought it would be great because you guys needed a safe space and she was my safe space. And so I was like, you know what? I think she would be great to just be like this ultra present, ultra powerful, fae creature that is just here to make everyone feel like they're at home. And so I just threw her in there because I was like, you know what? I want this. I was like, this is a selfish thing, but I'm like, I want to cement her in this for me.
Shout out to Caine's Grammy, the GOAT.
I feel
Rest in peace.
I feel kind of warm and fuzzy now.
Yeah, I know it's gross. Change it. What'd you remember?
The baby beholder fucker! Who the fuck was that? That fucking piece of shit!
Okay, so if you're curious what one of my favorite creatures in D&D is, it's a specter, because that is their goal. They're no, there is nothing more to that creature other than to be a fucking menace. They are there to spy on you and to make fun of you and make, like, just to shit on your entire
It's just that
existence.
stupid fucking statue from the bag of beans all over again.
It, like literally, a specter is just, like, it's written, like, in D&D is written to piss people off. It is there to antagonize and make people upset and angry. And I tried so hard to make Boldias angry, and it didn't work. And I was like, how is this? No, I am pulling all the buttons. I'm pushing all the buttons. And it's just not working. I was like, I respect Boldias so much for this right now. I was like, oh my God, I have said so many things that I would have snapped at. I'm like, the fact that you did. And I was like, props.
The only thing that made Buldias mad that beholder did was alert them to his position. He's like, God damn it, trying to get away from him.
Oh yeah, this is when Boldias refused to fucking stay near us at all.
Yeah, and then you guys went to
Tried to leave, and then they ran to me like lost fucking puppies.
yeah, because then you guys ran into each other, and then you went to the grayscale, dark and twisted world of Ulfeist, and you met Ollie. You saw what Ollie was capable of.
I met my sister
You
first.
met your sister.
Matilda?
No.
Oh, the other one.
Thelina.
No, the one
Nope.
that we need. We're supposed to get
She
out.
has.
We never did.
I was very happy with this name that I have it. It's hold on.
Slovenia.
Yep, Slovenia.
The Duchess.
The Duchess of Ulfeist.
And we met Fraj.
Yeah. Slovenia, Franj, Catilda, Vitriol, Cruze, Malil, the Aslar.
the things I've written down
Right.
for
The
these
fucking
people.
berserker armor.
Yeah, dude, Malil. Oh,
Malil just says middle child under it.
I literally have Malil, Asimar, middle child, forgotten and wandering the world. That's my notes behind her. Because I write notes to, like, I want the characters to be living and breathing, so I write notes to what makes me remember them so that I can remember what I was thinking in that moment. But yeah, no, I was like, who was your favorite sibling?
Catilda.
I think that's the same answer for everybody.
Oh, Malil was my favorite. I loved Malil.
Definitely up there. So for the siblings, this is gonna be my like hierarchy, and now they're all like serving me. Catilda. Catilda, bodyguard. Slovenia, treasurer, diplomat. Cruze, general. Vitriol, general. Gale, right hand. Malil, enforcer / assassin. Franj, soldier.
Just a soldier just stays being pathetic.
He is useless.
He's a great bartender.
Literally. Oh my god.
Sorry, that's the first time I've ever seen Crowe walk next to the.
Oh my god! Hey, I didn't knock it over.
Didn't knock it over.
I was gonna have Xanis be my master of knowledge, and then I didn't know what the fuck was going on. If like Ollie was gonna try and kill DeGale or something at that point, so I didn't write anything down.
I love that. That's fucking awesome.
I half expected him to just try and murk DeGale.
Okay, another question. Why in the fuck did he just up and try and kill me out of nowhere?
So the thing, that was with a deal that he had with the benefactor. That if he came into contact with anyone with celestial blood, he needed to kill them.
Oh.
He finally smelled it through everything that your character has been through and been used to. That's how powerful the magic was hiding.
Jesus.
You like he didn't notice until then, but once he did, he's like, fuck. I don't want to kill this person because of what he means to my prodigy golden child, and also because I think he's the answer. But he's like, I'll give you 5. He's like, I'll give you 5 minutes. But yeah,
I immediately yeeted myself out the window.
well, yeah, no, it was one of those things where it's like, I don't want to do this, but I am I made a contract with the benefactor.
I'm contractually obligated.
Yeah, he's like, I'm contractually obligated to try and kill you. However, the way I go about that is my business. And so I'm going to make it a game where I'm going to give you 5 minutes or 5 seconds or whatever it was.
I think it was 10 minutes total because we were on the edge of the big city whenever he started chasing.
Were you guys more scared of the bridges or Ollie chasing you?
Ollie.
Okay. I wanted that to be
scared.
like, well, yeah. Like I wanted you guys to like have the fear of Dracula from Castlevania chasing you guys, like the ghost, like all of them, like.
That'd be crazy.
I built them up to be scary, and I was like, I wanted you guys to be fucking petrified that you may die.
No, Xanis is so pissed because he loved the library.
No, that I was also pissed because I was like, fuck, I can't not let the story tell itself. I can't, because I wanted Xanis to get a win, but I was like, Xanis can't get a win right now.
Yeah, well, we also had to move on because of me not being here.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't feel like it was pushed. I feel like it was present.
It was really good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you guys got to Amura finally.
Where we went in circles.
Oh,
For so goddamn long.
So yeah,
Sorry.
we'll do final thoughts on this before we double back. But
Karashin, the god of growth and security and strength. Mm-hmm. Was there any other gods that were relating to Ulfheist in that area specifically, or was it just?
What do you mean
I
by
forgot we
that?
heard that name before.
Because
Yeah. So actually, so there's Sultania, Zulapo,
Yeah.
Sivillavet, and Karashin, the big four. But for the reason that no one knows a lot about like the Eastern countries is because they were actually ran by there are two gods that are that were originally in charge of the eastern side, which was Valiua. I don't know why the fuck I do this to myself when I write names. Valua and Aolav, which were Valua is the god of order, life, and acceptance, and that's who the benefactor locked away in the moon.
Gotcha.
And Aolav is the one that the benefactor usurped, so had to be chaos, death, and denial, which that's why the entire the eastern side didn't have gods before the gods left the plane. So like the gods have their jurisdiction basically, and that's what the countries were. And the world was way bigger, just erosion from the giant 1,000-foot waves kept it from happening.
Gotcha.
So Aulav was actually in charge of Ulfheist as well. But once Aulav left, Karashin took over and tried their best. But there were a lot of forces at play at that point that they couldn't
Gotcha.
deal with. Anything? Just for time's sake, and we can double back if you have questions. Just make sure to mark them down if you have anything.
Yeah.
So going into Amura, you guys got to Amura. You got to the Tower of God. You met previous characters from campaigns that we had played. The last campaign of mine, you guys played in the Hand, and then you guys made your way through trauma and family stuff with DeGale. Met some slavers that made DeGale leave, and then made your way to Vistalk and entered Vistalk. So, any questions with this one?
This took so goddamn long to get through. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh yeah, and your character met up with the bitch who killed you. Is that who got you?
Oh yeah, Lene.
Yeah, Lene.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, that was a question I had. What was her original plan? Because clearly it wasn't for me to just read the fucking scroll.
So, honestly, her plan was to kill you. Like, straight up murder you.
Neat.
But also, she knew you at that point, and she was like, she kept throwing you on these errands, knowing that these powerful artifacts, one of them would tempt you. Like,
she's just like, I don't have to do anything. If I wait long enough, he'll do it himself.
Exactly. And she's like, I have hundreds of these things that I can send him on errands. I just gotta wait for him to open one and make sure he doesn't die in the process. But worst case scenario, I will just kill this kid. And I will just kill this kid and then do it myself. I'll do it myself. But yeah, so that the original plan was to just tempt you enough.
That's fucking funny.
But yeah. And then, yeah, you guys saw the Titans that you actually never ended up running into past that church.
Yeah, because meteor storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better be thankful for your bitch for saving our lives right there.
Oh, yeah, no, we were fucked.
There are options for you guys to get out, but yeah, it was more along the lines of, hey, you're not fighting this. Distractions were great, though. So, any questions about this area? Because you guys went through the Tower of God. You met the Hand, like I said. You also met what's her name? The Twilight cleric. They got ripped.
Why can't I remember Misty?
Misty. Yeah, you met Misty again, which I hope was a great fucking twist.
Yeah, no, whenever we met Misty, I was like, the fuck?
And then also meeting the Benefactor, the first fake out for the Benefactor.
Yeah.
The Red Shadow Dragon.
Trainier.
Funny, man.
What a bitch.
But yeah, you guys re-met those characters. How did it feel seeing characters that we had played in previous campaigns come back again in this, like, way?
I like Trainier.
Sam.
He's my buddy.
You know how I feel. I always want Caine playing my characters more. I desperately try and force it to happen more and more often.
It's valid.
I feel like it was definitely a good interaction with them because as a player perspective, it felt like it was nice to see them again because like we always know in your stories our old characters always live on in a different country, different multiverse. Mm-hmm. I just want to know because like we've seen everyone else's characters but mine. Mm-hmm. So I just want to know which one of my characters in the last campaign came into this campaign.
Yes.
Thanks, Caine.
No, like they were combined.
They were combined?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that was the thing. Like I think the primary personality was Gojo.
Gotcha.
But what was it? The name of the other one?
Cold Hands.
So the thing about it is that Cold Hands was the body, Gojo was the personality.
Gotcha.
And so like the memories were in both. Like it was an amalgamate because for you, because I know you had like a few different characters in that campaign. Because I think it was like 3, right? Because who'd you play after Gojo died? I don't know.
It was Cold Hands because
right, because he came back. Yeah. And I was like, Crowe, like, I gave Gary the ability to jump between those. Adam hates his character from that, so I'm not gonna involve that one at all. I'm not gonna involve Sukuna at all.
Good.
And I was like, but you loved it. And I was like, okay, well, how do I make this? I was like, wait a second. Cold Hands is one of my favorite characters that Crowe's played, but also Gojo was very important to the story. Why not combine them? So like, and that's honestly what it was, is because like the character went by Gojo, but had the body of Cold Hands and the abilities of both.
Well,
Yeah.
that would have been insane. So, who was Luke?
Oh, Alukna?
Yeah.
It was from your background.
That's what I thought. I was, because like Alukna, okay, that was Cold Hands' last name.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Well, it's because for God Leather, the O in God was Alukna.
yeah,
Because he was one of the guys who helped you escape,
Yeah.
escape the prison or whatever, the slave area, because one of the only three. So Alukna, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but I was like, wait, what if he felt like me and the transcriber, we had this like plan for Alukna to have betrayed you, because he was like, I've been betrayed, because he thought that you abandoned him and Gus, who Gus is another anomaly. I just want to say. I'm okay with saying what is anomalies, because that'll lead you to.
yeah.
But Gus is an anomaly because Gus was killed and murdered. And I
Poor
will not
Gus.
tell you by who, but whoever you were talking to mirrored him perfectly.
What's his name? Heisenberg.
Too damn perfect for Gale to not know. So
No, like
Not-
it was one of those things oh, there's so much that I'm like, just so you know.
yeah, no, because the second character that I wanted to bring after Gale died was Augustus. So whenever he told me no, I can't do that because there's no way.
Yep.
Now,
Why?
there's a reason why.
I love telling Crowe no, because Crowe was just like, but why though? But why though? Where it's like, if I tell Adam or Gary no, they're just like, okay, well, that sucks, or that's stupid, but like, okay, fine, I'll make it work. But Crowe's like, why? Why though? I want to do my thing. Let me do my thing. But yeah, meeting Misty and going through the tower. How'd you guys feel about that?
I think that was the only win Xana's had in the entire campaign.
That's true.
So that tower.
Even when it was a win, it was still a fucking loss because all like the mentality of going down it had to be strong enough for all of us to be able to save all those DCs.
That's such a goddamn shit show.
The whole way down, yeah, no, it was a
That was
disaster.
awful.
Yeah, no, that.
I
was
remember
rolling
right
so
before I
bad.
had my little clutch moment, that was the end of a session, so everybody had failed, and then Caine goes, we're gonna wrap up there, and I go, but I have a thing! Why?
Dude, I was averaging like a 7 on my fucking saves. It was so bad. I think I saved on maybe 1. It was so annoying.
Any other questions for this area? Because like a lot happened, but also like
We can skip talking about the rest of this area.
Because it really was us just a disaster.
that's fair.
It was awful.
It was so bad, and we couldn't fucking leave!
I mean, that's kind of fun.
Oh, this is also the part where we heading a little bit back to the cathedral, where we met the person that killed Xanis.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Lune.
Yeah, Lene. The egg.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to know if it's still there.
Maybe that may or may not be an anomaly.
Fuck!
That's gonna get us fucked.
You want to know something funny? That
What?
thing should already be in existence. It should already have hatched by now.
Yeah, because it's been over 3 years since.
No. Whenever you guys found it, it should have already existed. It's an anomaly, and it's a mousecatool that'll help us later.
Fuck your anomaly.
Fuck your anomaly. Yeah. So I guess we'll move on to Viz Talk to the new group. So going through Viz Talk, meeting all the people, that's when we met. We had to say goodbye to Gale. We had to say bye to the Gale. I just wanted to get rid of both of those characters, apparently.
Yeah, fuck the Gales.
And then you guys went through Viz Talk. You met Scott's character. We met Scott. Everyone met Scott, and then all the way to fighting Trelaka, going through all that, everyone dying, and then us trying to figure out how the fuck we're gonna finish this if we do, and then meeting the new group.
I would just like to say, I should have been selfish and killed Trelaka. God damn it.
Yeah.
I tried to help the group and it fucked me.
I've been thinking about this since you brought up, like, you mentioned something about, like, you can't give Xanos a win here whenever we were talking about Ollie, and I'm like, he really did just lose the entire time. And the second we got to the moment that was supposed to be Xanos' moment, we fucking died.
And you guys were like 1 HP. Like, you guys were so close.
Like, dude, he just kept losing the whole campaign. And then the second it was supposed to be his thing, we fucking died.
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys met, who'd you meet during this?
Mike again.
The GOAT.
Mike.
Yep.
You thought I forgot about Mike. No. And also you met, what's his name?
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill Nye.
And then we met the creepiest person I've ever met in one of your Master of Puppets. Who the fuck was that person?
Oh, the real personality of Bill. Yeah.
Ugh.
What do you mean? What?
Oh, the Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
Also,
All I
Q
have
Metallica.
down for that
Sorry.
is Master of Puppets - hot woman.
So the Master of Puppets was actually, so that was a character where I was like, Viz Talk needs a seedy underground because that's part of Scott's character. But on top of that, there needs to be somebody. It's very similar to, like, a lot of this area was based off of Arcane, and like the high up seedy underground. Like, there's like levels and tiers. And for this one, I was like, I love the steampunk aspect, but I was like, what can I do to give it to like some character? And I'm like, Destiny. If you look at like Mercury, like whenever the Vex like go through a planet, they like mechanize the entire planet. And I was like, ooh, what if they mechanized just the underground and the top was supposed to be like this utopia? And so I'm like, who could manufacture that on a level in which they are omnipresent? And so I was like, what if there's a high level wizard / rogue who has cast simulacrum on themselves, so they are in every place, but also different personalities, because Bill is the Master of Puppets personality in the enchantment area. Master of Puppets is basically kind of like a mini hive mind at this point of each of the characters. So it's like, it was one of these things, like they were constantly like pulling the strings and trying to figure out how to not let themselves fall prey to what everyone else in the city falls prey to, which is hubris. And so I was like, how do I get someone who's not going to fall to hubris in this fucking place of all places? So that was kind of my idea behind them. And then I was like, make him a hot woman. Why not?
One of the questions I had written down for this is, why is Mike the Camel the actual goat of DQC?
Literally.
Well, no, it was one of those things where I'm like I said with Shade Silver, it's like I added a personality to this character that I did not know existed 5 seconds before. And now we've grown attached to him, and I didn't feel comfortable just saying like, oh, fuck this guy, or fuck this camel.
You got crushed by the Kraken.
Well, it's because I gave every character weight. I refuse to make any character not useful or important in some way. And I was like, I always planned for Mike to come back. Like, I was like, it'd be so fucking great if Mike came back as like a fucking Deus Ex Machina. Like, I want this to happen. And I was just like, wait a second, what if he's been feeding information to the Master of Puppets who granted him like his anthropomorphized form of his like Minotaur form. Camel Minotaur.
Yes.
Yes.
All I know is that he was hunchback, and that was
Yeah. He's an Igor. Mm-hmm. But like I was like he owes Master of Puppets / Bill everything. He's been feeding Bill this information about the people he adventured with, who have like a lot of like destiny, and like he appreciated like and looked up to you a lot, and so to Boldias a lot, and so it was like one of those things where, wouldn't it be crazy if you guys actually had someone who was looking out for you for once? There's Mike. Like, there he go.
There goes the goat.
Go.
The boy.
Mike D. Camel. Mike D. Goat.
Literally.
But yeah.
So. I feel like he just looks like a camel from Camel cigarettes, you know?
Sure.
On the package of like
Turkish,
gotcha.
like old blues.
Yep. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Any other questions for this area?
This is where we met Mozo.
Yeah, that's where you met Mozo.
How did Xanis feel about meeting his alleged son?
I think I communicated that quite well in the episodes.
Maybe.
It's a... Who the fuck is this? I'm fucking married? I have a kid? What?
He has connections to everyone in the group.
That's my favorite. I love just linking stories together in the most obscene
fucking
ways.
Nemea throwing the money.
Child support. Dog,
After vibe checking Xanis into a fucking...
Dude, I loved playing Nemea because, like, Shade Silver was there to fuck with you. Nemea was there to put you in your fucking place. Like, I absolutely loved playing Nemea and Shade Silver because I was just like, oh, these are two halves of the same fucking coin. But yeah, and then you guys made your new characters after, Mozo killing a child or whatever he did.
Just instantly.
You guys dying, and then you guys met the new group. How'd you guys feel about the new group?
I like him.
Oh, Atlan was so cool. The Whirlpool, that's so dope.
Pretty fucking sick. Can't wait till you see him meet up Fire Genasi. It's gonna kill him.
Well, I was like, I loved the choices you guys made with your new characters, and I hope they transfer over to Scott's campaign, because holy shit. I love whenever your character has vices, but they're pretty straight edge otherwise. Because the juxtaposition between those just makes me very happy. I love when Crowe, your characters talk. When you play anyone who's edgy or quiet, I'm just like, Crowe, talk. I was like, you'll just blend in. You won't say shit. And I think DeGale was like, it towed the line between those very well. But I still think that, like, it was Hexan, right?
Yeah, Hexan.
I think Hexan is just the kind of character you need to play. Because that character complemented your personality and your, like, things as a player. Where it's like, I'm gonna do obscene shit. I'm gonna say things that may not make sense, but I don't give a fuck because God. I have the power of God and anime on my side. Fuck you.
And the name of Muhammad.
And then I loved your Honas because it was so refreshing for your character to just be in his own world and not be a detriment to everyone else.
He's just doing his own thing.
I loved it because it didn't take away from the story. I felt like a lot of the times Xanis would take away from the story, where it'd be like, you're in your own fucking way. Where Honas was just like, I am the way. He's like that's what whenever you create characters, the characters that I love the most are the ones who do not get in the way of the story. Because I feel like Xanis did. I feel like half of your Fibblethipps did. Like, Phil Evangel did not. Like, Phil Evangel pushed the story, had his own thing. Like, I loved Phil Evangel. I loved Honas. And I do love Xanis. But, like, at the same time, Xanis just got in his own fucking way too often. And partially it's my fault for making a story that kept beating him down. Because I'm like, get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. Get out of your own...
He's on the ground. He's already dead!
Look, they massacred my boy! My boy! Father, help. Sorry, I had to fart.
There you go.
What the fuck was that?
It's probably a garbage truck or some shit.
It had to be.
Got it.
Like a tow
that
truck.
sounded kind of crazy coming in through the headphones. I was like,
It was that loud. Like, because there's a gate on this.
Yeah.
It's so loud to do.
Like this scene in Indiana Jones in the library.
I get it now. But yeah, no, like, I loved the choice. And, like, oh my god, Scott opening his fucking mouth anytime. Like,
Jesus Christ, dude.
I
fucking
felt so
good.
bad for Varric because I was just like, Varric is quiet and very utilitarian.
Well,
He's
he
very
came
useful.
in at the absolute worst time.
And I felt so bad because I was like, I swear to God, you're useful and you're doing an amazing job. But he's like, I'm around deities and demigods. I want to make friends with a slaver. He's like,
he did that
he's like,
shit.
this is all I can do in this moment. He's like, I have no moral there is no moral gray areas with me. It's all just shit. So,
I have a question. What level was that headless Sleepy Hollow motherfucker that I had to fight 1v1 while
the Avatar
everyone
of
watched?
Death?
Yes.
he was very strong. Very strong.
Fucking bastard.
Because I was like, wait till you roll a fucking whatever you rolled. Because I was like, I can't wait to throw this back in your... Because I told you it would happen.
Yeah.
I told you that it would come back to bite you in the ass, stealing all these spells, and that Revivify, that this guy went on a journey to become an Avatar of Death. He became a Mangler. He became an Avatar of Death.
Oh, God.
Just so he could have the chance of fighting you again and wouldn't lose.
We didn't even fight. Fucking dick.
And I was just like, wait a minute. And then I was like, please, someone join in. I can't wait to throw whatever this creature is, half of it, at you guys. He was, I forget what I had him written down as, but he was, like, super fucking strong. Like, I don't know how you would win this fight strong. Someone has to revive you.
God damn it.
Yeah. And so... that was one of the things where I was like, fuck, that was a whole thing. But yeah, and then unless there's any other questions for this area.
That marked my 11th encounter with death.
God, 11?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
So the new group to the end. So we're going like from the time you guys all introduced your characters, you met the new characters, all the way to meeting the elf in the tree, learning who the benefactor truly was, which was Quaylar, and then going on through and finishing out our aspect of the story with collecting the souls and making a very hard ultimatum. So originally the ultimatum was, which life are you going to save? The character you've been working on or the character you just made? with their justifications, and everyone know. Like originally, I was like, which one are you going to save? This one or this one? You get all of their memories, but they have to make the choice on whether it's better to keep them alive or dead.
Low-key, fuck Boldias, but since I absorbed his soul, can I rip shit apart from reality?
Well, that's the whole thing. Okay. Well, I'll get in that question. I'll answer it like towards the end.
Yeah.
Just write that down.
I do have something like that already, like written down. That was one of my questions I was going to ask later.
Yeah.
But
Atlan's cool.
Atlan's chill.
He only has a drug problem. Not an everything else problem.
Pufferfish. What's the from Hitman? What's the sushi that Jay and everyone talked about? Like food.
Sea urchin.
No, it's like if like there's a certain like you can eat pufferfish, but only if it's cut a certain way. It's like
the way it's cut.
Foo something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it is.
But yeah, that's because like I loved Paladin so much because of what you did with Anvil Bender and now with this character. Where you're just like spend 5 lay on hands. I'm not drunk anymore. I can drink more. And then on top of it being like a sea person, so I was like, you have a natural immunity, and I was like, this is so fucking funny. This is so good. Well, it's like that's what is it? Is it dolphins will bat pufferfish to get a high? Like they will literally just fucking tail whip up. Or it might be killer whip orcas. I don't know, but it's
orcas do it to seals.
Orcas are a fucking menace to everything.
Orcas yeet
Black
seals
Air Force
like
energy.
There's pictures of orcas yeeting seals like 50 feet in the air
For shits and giggles.
for no reason other than just fuck with them.
yeah, so for some dumb reason why I know this information.
Why is it so fucking
I think it's because
funny?
is it about the seals?
No, about the dolphins.
Oh yeah, I think because I think I've sent both of you guys like this one dude who's like giving a rundown of
Is it the animal, like the guy on TikTok who does all the animal videos?
Yeah, the Animal Kingdom like menaces. Like yeah. I've definitely sent you guys.
He has like 7 videos on orcas alone. Like so many on orcas.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Crowe? Things about dolphins.
Yeah, the dumb. So early in the campaign, whenever I was talking to Atlan, why like he would know of dolphins and how they're like the supernatural of the sea, is because of the fact that he's always drinking on pufferfish.
Yeah,
is that dolphins will pass around the pufferfish with their nose.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. They'll boop it.
They'll boop it to each other to get the high. Mm-hmm. I was like, so what are you, a dolphin?
And then I was like, wait. Also, that begs a question to, I guess, towards the beginning. How do you guys feel about the world itself? Like, not being able to use the ocean? Because, like, that's
fuck!
I can.
I honestly don't mind it. Like,
he's out of line, but he's right.
like in previous campaigns, like we were able to use the ocean somewhat just to get travel done. Yeah. In this campaign, ocean's off limit. If you go in there, you're fucking dead.
At least it's not an ocean of hellfire.
That's a throwback that only the understands.
Just in case you're wondering, my tendencies of killing Adam's characters go beyond this campaign.
They're deeply rooted. Like an old
It's never, ever been intentional. Ever.
It's always intentional. He just doesn't know he's doing it.
It's
So
subconscious.
therefore...
It's just built into himself. But no, yeah, like this is like the first time I've ever like hardcore was like you guys cannot do this. And then when we opened it up to not only a paladin, which in this world very, very few characters can be, and you have to justify it a certain way, and like clerics too. Like at first me and the transcriber were paladins and clerics are off limits because there's no gods, and I was like, wait a minute, no, There can be, but they have to be very distorted from their actual like meaning of what those are, which I don't like cleric and paladin. I love paladins in 5e because paladins take an oath to get their powers. But like other than that, they're just like it's more about like their connection with like community or like whatever they hold, the values that they hold near. I love that idea. I hate the idea of like asking a god for help. And it's just like, for me, it's like clerics. I'm like, ugh. That's why I love warlocks, because it's like, I'm going to ask this super powerful being. I don't know what the fuck it is. Give me power. And clerics are just like, please God help me. And then the gods get to pick and choose which ones they want to like hold their power. And I'm just like, that's kind of shitty. And so I was like, how do we twist this? But yeah.
I almost want to make like a super devout paladin sometime.
Please not for the next campaign. Jesus Christ.
Jesus night.
Just the Crusades. Just nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
No, Adam. No.
Please God, no. Please God, no.
I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla recently.
You suffered through Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, that game was fucking horrible.
We'll get into that, but so I guess like towards the end of this, do you have any questions for this arc and how everyone feel about knowing Qualar was the benefactor all along?
Were you triggered when I banished your creature?
No, I was impressed because I was like, I expected to roll way better, and I was like, oh, natural doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I did this to myself. It doesn't. I was like, I try very hard not to make encounters that will murder you guys because I have a tendency of doing that and putting you guys in positions you don't deserve to be in. But I was like, wait, you guys are level 15 or whatever level you guys were. You guys have all this insane power. I'm going to throw like that encounter is supposed to be hard. I'm going to throw a balanced encounter at you guys. And this is why I throw this shit at you guys. Because I was like, Chartland Dragon, I'm like, you can't polymorph it. You can't, like charm it. Like, there are so many things.
What the fuck was it?
Chartland Dragon. Chartland is it's a dragon from a specific module, but it's basically a construct dragon.
Okay.
But it's a chunky boy. Like, look it up. Like, I fucking love it's the bulldog of dragons. Like, it is like it is a chunky boy. Crowe, can you pull it up and show Adam?
I will.
And Gary, if you haven't seen it, it says Chardylyan, I think, or it's probably Alyn or something like that.
Found it.
It's a chunky boy. Everyone at home, look it up.
That is a chunky boy.
It's got stubby ass legs. It's got a big old torso.
It does have really stubby fucking legs.
It's literally like Thimber Hatch or whatever. Thimberchild from fucking the D&D movie.
It's like a stegosaurus with wings.
Yeah. No, like I've always loved that creature.
How the fuck does it fly? You cannot tell me those wings get it off the ground.
It has a fly speed of 90 feet.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
I just want to say that this Chartland Dragon looks badass as fuck.
Oh no, it looks dope as shit.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just like
it has a fucking natural like knight helmet for a face.
Yeah. And then I also threw an Illith, an undead Illithid at you guys, and I was like, oh, this is a great this is Trelaka giving an aspect of himself to guard the souls without having to actively stay there, because what's the point of having power if you can't use it? Well, now that anomaly is the first one you guys have cleansed, and we're going to go through that whole process. So going towards the end of this, anything that we want to double back on, any questions for the future, any questions like when it comes to my stuff, and then we'll go into talking about our characters for the next one. Even though Scott's not here, I kind of want to go into it and like talk about a little bit like for stuff like that.
So what inspirations came for each country?
So the first 4 are inspired by it's humans, dwarves, dragonborn, and elves, because like I said about the race thing earlier, it's like I that is a very easy way to cause discourse and hate. The issue with the humans is I was just like, fuck, what did they do? And I was like, well, humans are known for hubris. They are known for pushing their limits. One too many humans made contracts with devils. Someone's got to cash that in sometime. Opens up the realm of the nine hells, Zulipo, and all the Zulipo, the god, not the capital, was taken away from this realm, and so Zulipon was whenever humans surpass expectation and pay the price. The dwarves were very much like, we needed. I was like, food has to come from somewhere. Huge farming community, but I'm like, it can't just be like there. And I was like, oh, there are insane monsters that live through it. Like that's why like you being a druid for Honas was insane, because I was like, yes, you'll know a lot of crazy shit that no one else will understand that we didn't get to yet because it was like it just didn't match the tempo that we were pushing. But I was like, you're gonna run into monsters. Everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck? And you're just be like, oh, this is a Tuesday for me. Like
I've seen this before.
Like it's one of those things. Like I was like, every fucking place needs a problem, and that was the problem. The problem was monsters. Like literally 100 people die in every settlement every day. Like people have to breed like bunnies to like continue, and that's why it's like Sultania was like. She's the goddess of love, and like she's the only like the freshwater lake. Like the last thing she did, like her tears filled up the lake, and there's actually something at the bottom of the lake that another anomaly will happen, but like she filled up the lake for fresh water so that it could reach all of Siltandi, and it could be the only fertile ground, because after that you have Enlisaville, which the elves tried to go toe-to-toe with the devils, and it did not work.
Fucking losers.
Yeah, no, they got fucking decimated. And so I was like, okay, well, elves are always known to be like these like perfect beings. What if they were shreds of what they used to be? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And I was taking the normal like Dragonborn as dwarves, like why not? Like they know their limits. They know they can survive in all these areas. Why not have these races mirror their foils and their antithesis usually? And then I was like, Etoile, I was like, I want there to be a haven between the bridges, because I was like, I don't want just like a long ass bridge. Because with like how I made the world, or how me and the transcriber made the world, it just didn't make sense to not have some sort of safe place to where you need a break. Everyone needs a break, and that was very difficult to put into this world, because like transcriber wanted me to be even meaner. I was like, I tried so hard. I was like, okay, what does this make sense? It has to make sense. No, I'm not gonna kill him. No, I'm not gonna throw this. No, it's maybe. Like there were some things where I'm just like, oh, that's a good idea. But the rest of them I was like, it's too mean. Like I don't feel comfortable. And then Ulfice, I'm like, Land of Monsters sounds so fucking cool. I just a transcriber came up with the name Ulfice, but I was like, I just want the Land of Monsters. And I think that's what I was gonna call it. But I was like, they're just gonna have a name for it. So Emura, I was like, I wanted there, because like we wanted there to be some sort of like hyper devout cult in Emura, and it was actually originally going to be way worse. It was going to be way more fucked up, but I was like, no, that doesn't make sense because of Misty being in charge of the tower, like all these things. Like it's severely fucked up, but there is justification for it, and I think that's like the biggest thing for cults in general. It's like, how do you get people involved? You tell them what they want to hear, and you justify it the best way that you can, and it just devolved from there. And then Viztalk, I'm like, ooh, what if there was like a Wakanda-ass country where it's like insane magic, insane technology. Nobody knows about it because once you cross into there, nobody sees you again because your either memory gets wiped or they just kill you. And so it's like, oh, what if we went through all that? And like that was the justification and like in the creation process of each country. You're welcome.
Yeah, no, holy
It's
fuck.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
When do we get to meet Mephistopheles?
Which one?
Vizala's boss.
Yeah, okay. I was like, there's someone who goes by that name who isn't actually, but yeah, no, that's the what is he? The eighth realm of hell. He actually. So long story short, he and Beelzebul both teamed up to take over the ninth realm of hell from Asmodeus. So Asmodeus is no longer the biggest bad, but only devils know that. Mephistopheles is now the one in charge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great! Just great!
It's like
Great.
the devils are like the mafia in this world.
They're the mafia in every world. Like, they're lawful evil. Because devils are lawful evil where demons are chaotic evil. So it's like one of those things like, how do we make this work? And, you know, money talks.
So they whacked the boss.
They whacked the boss. Yeah, because I made it so those two teamed up. They recruited most of the archdevils. The fucking, what's his name? The sex one. I forget what his name is. The one that's all about like, he's like king of the succubus and stuff like that. And also Zariel for the first realm of hell, the fallen angel. Like, I had most of them team up, and anyone who didn't team up was put out of commission very quickly.
They got whacked, boss.
Because Ali also stepped in, and like a lot of people chipped in to make sure Asmodeus lost his place. Because if they wanted to exist in the world and not just take over the prime material plane, Asmodeus had to go. And it was just one of those things where it's like, it's a benefit to get rid of this big contender because now we're all on even playing fields. Same reason why Bahamut and Tiamat are behind closed doors, because Asmodeus is on that level, don't want to deal with that, like, at all. And so people teamed up to put them behind closed doors. But yeah, so that's Mephistopheles.
So after DeGale's quote-unquote death,
Yeah.
whenever he was interacting with the Illithid dragon, I forgot his actual name.
Yeah. There you go.
What happened? What happened?
What happened? What happened? So long story short, DeGale was turned into an Illithid. Theoretically, like, he had tadpoles enter his bloodstream and his brain and everything like that. However, Vigil was the brain that they were going into, and so Vigil worked backwards and infiltrated the Elder Brain Dragon from the inside and became the Elder Brain, and so gave DeGale his sentience back, but he now has control of the mountain and that very, very powerful form, and the dragon itself. So that was one of the things, like whenever like your character died, I was like, fuck, I didn't think this would happen.
There was a dragon fight.
I was like,
so.
I was like, I made a dragon fight happen. I'm happy, but it was just like one of those things. Like, what if? And I was just like, well, Vigil is super fucking strong and definitely powerful enough to do this, and now has like, it was basically like everything was compounding to fight the benefactor. Once you guys died, the benefactor left. Like, there was no reason for Vigil to really fight anymore, and so he was trying to figure out how to bring the gods back. Like he was like, oh, I'm not gonna fight the benefactor anymore, so I'm just gonna, because everyone was preparing to fight the benefactor, and It never happened. So now everyone's scrambling to figure out how to save the world so they don't die. So that was that.
So there's still technically a way to bring the gods back to this world.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And that'll be part of your thing. Like, dealing with anomalies will help bring them. Because the only reason they exist is because Quaylar exists.
I assume no more questions?
Well, what was your question earlier? I said write that down.
Yeah, which is what I was about to ask, because it kind of leads into what he was going to ask. So the multiverse is going to technically exist. How is our characters going to interchange with future sessions of your campaign?
So I thought this would be real fun.
I don't like them. I forgot. Now I remember.
So your and I told you guys this briefly, but your character, it depends on whatever personality presents itself. You guys will be very much fighting over the body that you guys are using. So we'll basically, you can either roll dice or figure it out, whatever would be most entertaining, but you are going to choose what character you're playing in that session. And then you have to role play the conflicted nature of, Hexan and Mozo. Hexan and Mozo and Gale now.
Yeah, but Gale's his own separate being.
Every character you guys played in this campaign will share the same body.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if Quaylar doesn't exist, that anomaly doesn't happen. You guys are all anomalies, so you guys are the original anomalies to fix everything. And so to fix yourselves, you have to fix all the anomalies. Basically, it's like a spider. It's like you hit a crack on a windshield. Mm-hmm. You have to fix not obviously that's not how windshields work, but you have to work your way back to the original crack would be you guys.
Gotcha.
So fixing the anomalies will then in turn give you your bodies back. So you can decide which person you want to play that session and what would be most entertaining, or just fucking roll for it. I don't care. And then you get that skill set.
So whenever DeGale and who was the other person that came?
What?
Nasty.
The person who what? Who?
It was DeGale and someone else that came to the group of us.
I don't.
Towards the end of the session.
Oh, it was fuck, who was it?
Bubs. It was Bubs.
It was Bubs. Yes, it was Bubs.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, it was Bubs and DeGale.
So whenever DeGale and whenever
we'll go into it. It'll be more cinematic, but essentially what will happen is that
they will just
mesh, because that's that'll be you've already squashed the first anomaly, which is Trollocker.
Yeah.
You have now ripped godhood from him. He'll still be alive, so that'll be fun. But
Pussy.
yo, fuck the guy. You see a guy?
I got priorities first then, if he's still living.
Yeah, but if you interact outside of...
Damn it!
It's a canon event.
I want to murder him!
It's a canon event.
God damn it.
But yeah, it's a canon event and you can't interact. But yeah, so long story short, Bubs will fuse you both. And now that Bubs doesn't have to worry about, pushing on his race anymore, where he's like, he had so many kids.
That man blew up.
Yeah, he exploded. But yeah.
Stupid idea that whenever we're deciding on which character to play, I thought about just since the multiverse is technically going to exist now, I was thinking about how whenever our characters do change to forms, it would kind of be like the mask and how his face just changes, it just changes his whole body into like whatever the character you're gonna play as?
We'll figure that out. I just don't want you guys to be switching between character sheets, and because we're gonna be doing high level stuff, I want you to just be able to feel. I mean, if you feel comfortable doing that, we may do that. But like as of right now, like everyone, you're gonna make your characters level 17. We're gonna go into the next one. So like there are 9th level spells available. Stuff is happening. So we'll go into that. But playing multiple characters, I mean, we've all done it before.
Yeah.
But like playing multiple characters is something like I don't want to be taken lightly.
Gotcha.
Because I mean, you're fighting for control, but you have to recognize when your skill set is more necessary than another's, or how you complement the team. Yeah. Any other questions about this campaign?
I don't think I can ask mine yet because I think it's future information. Like I think
You can ask it. I'll let you know if I can.
Am I an angel yet?
Are you an angel yet? Yeah. I mean, like you would have ascended. Yeah. Yes. You're welcome.
That's all Gary wanted to know, is that if he's an angel or not.
Bro, do you realize how frustrating it was that I could go into my form of dread and I had wings that didn't work?
They were inky.
They were drippy.
It just keeps going. I remember like the last time I did it was whenever we were fucking, he went to the caves and I go, do they work yet? And he goes, no. And I just went, fuck!
He has the drip. Stay away from him.
Ew.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Gross.
Gross.
I guess that'll wrap all that up.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's the campaign. Let's talk a little bit about our characters moving on. Just to give like a brief overview. Like, obviously, don't give away anything that may show up or like background wise. But how's everyone feel about their characters?
For Scott's campaign, right?
Yes.
I'm excited because this is gonna be the first time that I like truly play a bard. Because I played a bard once before in Gary's campaign outside of podcast, and it was more. He was more just like he's the chef.
Yeah.
And he just was being seductive, and that was it, like typical bard shit. But this one,
typical bard shit.
sorry.
That could be offensive to people.
Yeah. Like, okay, first I'm gonna let you know, Quaylar didn't fuck nobody. Like Quaylar was the first character I ever played. Bard never slept with anyone. Like I was like, what?
He definitely didn't.
Which definitely should have just shown me signs that I'm on the asexual spectrum. Like I should have just known.
Back in 2017, man, you should have known.
I should have known. Continue.
Sorry, it just sounded like that.
I'm alone.
Kib or Kibitsuchi, I'm pulling him from what?
I love your names because I'm just like, I can't wait to shorten this.
Kib.
Yeah.
I pulled him.
Kibber.
Yes!
Kibber.
I'm pulling inspiration from a video game called fuck.
I've never heard of Oh Fuck. Hello Fuck.
Yeah, Metal Hellsinger, and how this quote devil is trying to escape from hell and is trying to also produce her own music as well while she is fighting through hell. So I was like, this is a really fun game, and I myself really love metal music or rock music. Kibber.
I'm sorry.
That's gonna stick now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Kibber.
And so yeah, Bard Warlock, the Fiend,
The Borlock.
the Borlock, And
What made you settle on Borlock? Was it just what matched the character idea?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like you've like wanted to do something like this.
it's mostly it's what matches the character idea, because she comes into contact with a skull.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's like, hey, like we're on the same boat. Super powerful devil, like wants to get out as well.
Mm.
So they kind of just like had their alignments aligned together, and
Got it.
I was like, this sounds like a very fun idea to play.
Is your character? Do they know where they get their power? That's all. Yes or no? Do they know where they get their power when it comes from the warlock side?
They know that he knows that he has a pact with the skull itself.
Doesn't know where the power comes from though.
The skull is technically the power.
Yeah, but
he Kib doesn't really know that.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like a conduit for like a. Anyway, cool. He thinks he knows.
Yeah, he thinks he knows, but at the same time, whenever we actually go into this actual world, you will realize that most of the spells that come from him are actually coming from the skull, and all the bard stuff is actually coming from Kib.
Got it. Either of you?
Do you even have a character yet, Adam? I remember you saying last week that you would have one by Monday. Did you hold up your? Yeah, I didn't think so.
But do you know what you're playing? Probably.
Paladin.
Cool. Okay, as long as we know that. Oh yeah, and it's going to be a fire genasi.
Oh yeah, we did discuss that
Yeah.
last time.
Fire Genasi Paladin.
It's very tempting.
Do it.
Scorched earth.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. I don't know. I really enjoyed playing Atlan this time around. Just because, like, you've said it multiple times, like, Paladin's just busted.
Yeah, but also having a fucking fire resistance dealing with like what we think we're gonna deal with, it would be fucking amazing. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Or do you have any ideas thrown around in your head where you're just like, oh,
you know, I haven't really liked most of the classes I've played.
Yeah.
Unless it's like heavy magic, but I also like to just fucking slice and dice as well. So.
Well, I was curious if you ever like thought about like Blood Hunter or.
It just doesn't appeal to me.
That's
I
valid.
read into it. I just don't like it.
That's valid.
I don't know why.
No, I mean it's it's Blood Hunter's a weird class. I love it. But like I didn't know if you like looked at Artificer at all or.
Tried it, hated it.
Yeah.
There's also the subclass to Wizard, which is the Blightsinger.
Oh yeah, hack and slash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you still have full spell casting, and
What's
then
that one called?
It's Wizard 5. Just look up Wizard or Bladesinger Wizard 5e.
Bladesinger.
Yeah, and the link to the campaign should still be in Discord. So
anyway, Gary.
No, sorry.
Yeah,
Barbarian fighter. His name's Saren Darkmoor. He's an old grizzled war vet.
Is he gonna be likable?
I've got a plan.
I don't like when he says that. I don't trust his plans.
So Winter Grants, if he's not likable, we ditch him.
You know, we kill him. It's gonna be hard.
Same side.
Very difficult, but we got it. Anything else?
I don't really know what else.
Like where he came from, or like what you're most excited for?
I'm really excited to have, because I kind of like know roughly, as long as nothing absurd changes with like the party, I kind of know roughly how he's gonna, outside of his interactions with Adam's character, because it doesn't exist yet. I know how he's going to interact with both of your guys' characters. And I'm really, really excited for that, because it's just going to be funny.
Nice. So I'll be playing Stratoria Melhi, and she was a woman, but not the first woman I've ever played actually. I played a woman in a Ravenloft campaign, but it was like for a few. It was a friend of mine, and it was for like a few fucking. It was like.
I thought that character was non-binary.
Irina?
Yeah.
No, Irina's female. Oh. I mean, maybe I don't know. I apologize. I've played a non-binary character. Well, I definitely played a non-binary character because of Khan, my changeling.
That I remember.
Oh yeah, Irina is something completely different. But yeah, no, it's weird because I asked to transcribe. I'm like, what do I do? Like I was like, I'm trying to think about characters, like what I can do, like what would be fun, and I don't want to take anything from anyone. But I was like, I have this great idea, and so like I went down the rabbit hole, and then found out that me and Crowe both took the same warlock subclass. So I was like, I'm changing mine. So I changed mine to Hexblade Warlock and Wild Magic Sorcerer. And looking into it, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. I get all my shit back on a short rest, and I can almost force Wild Magic upon Scott's discretion. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you don't think I'm going to abuse that, a Sorlock that has Wild Magic, and I can reroll basically any roll, and then all I have to do is pay for it in Wild Magic. He's gonna make me. I'm gonna hate this campaign so much.
It's all fun and games until you grease yourself, and then you're.
I was gonna say fireball yourself, like somebody.
Hey, that's not my fault.
Is it? Is it not?
No. All right. The dice tell the story.
It's like when I got revived in that field and instantly fireball.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Twice. After I got whacked in my sleep by my supposed friend. Stupid
okay.
Wax balls.
So we're gonna be wrapping up. What is everyone's favorite moment from the campaign? Or like a favorite episode, if you can't like narrow it down to a moment. Because like for me, I loved interacting as Hemawheelie, but that chase scene is my favorite moment. That
chase was really
That
good.
chase scene made me feel so fulfilled as a DM. I was just like, you guys are on the edge of your fucking seats right now, and you don't know what's gonna happen. I love this. This is also ending every episode with a twist. Almost every episode.
Almost.
Where when Gary yelled, "What the fuck, Caine?" to me every time, or "I hate you," I was like, I've done my job.
There was like one episode where I was like, I'm happy with it. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
And then the next one.
Like we were 5 minutes into the next episode and some bullshit happened.
But anyway, yeah, I have to say it's one of those few.
It's really hard to beat the chase. The chase is really good.
I think it's funny because it's another moment where Xanis is just losing, but him getting fucking vibe checked by the man was so goddamn perfect.
I love that moment. I thought you were gonna say
Meeting Ollie is really good.
no. I thought you were gonna say stealing stealing from the king, the Revivify from the king.
Even though he wasn't here for that.
Yeah. Well, I told him about it. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, because I didn't say where it came from originally, and then like we talked about it. I was like, oh, that's good. Yeah.
I think mine has to be whenever Zigel saw his dead dad. I got super emotional with it. But that's definitely top moments. What?
Did you think of what I think you thought?
I don't know. We'll talk about it off stream. What do you think is the funniest moment if you can't know?
There's only one. You tied the goddamn rope.
Oh, dumbass. I don't know. The old tree.
Yeah, the tree was pretty fucking great.
Oh my! I don't. There were a lot of real good moments. It's hard to say a funniest for me, but you tied the rope, dumbass.
You tied the rope, dumbass.
I'm so
Dude,
sorry.
it was the emphasis on dumbass.
I don't know if you could physically like put more into that word. Dumbass.
It was like straight out of the Red Foreman like handbook, you know, like.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. Who's your favorite character? I was gonna like it was all. I was at lightning round. Like favorite character.
It has to be him, Willie.
Let's go one. Okay, favorite companion. Sorry, favorite a non-companion character.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So Vizala works for you.
Catilda.
Catilda. What did you say?
Catilda's really good.
Misty.
Misty. What? It's because you made her.
It's not because it's where DeGale found out more about his
Okay.
his actual like bloodline. He's royalty.
Got it. Okay. Favorite companion.
Shade Silver.
Shade Silver. Himawili.
Alvar.
Okay,
I was like, that one is the.
I was like, that's my guess. I'm
Yeah.
surprised no one said Vigil. I fucking love
I
Vigil.
love Vigil.
I
I love Vigil, but I can't get the betrayal out of my mind.
I was gonna say, what's your favorite twist that happened? Or
Vigil. Whenever he killed Alvar.
Vigil Hour, yeah. Spoiler alert.
I felt obligated to not react to this in the moment, so I'll react to it now because I wasn't playing the character that would react to it a bigger deal. But fucking Quellar being fucking Stannis' mom, you fuck!
Yeah.
You fucking son of a bitch!
Crowley never has sex. Child.
He's a virgin.
No, he didn't have sex for that.
Oh god, that's just worse.
No, he just imbued his essence, and like he imbued his essence and Alvar's essence together and created through a ley line. Like you're a being, like
No wonder there's so much luck on the goddamn ley lines!
weird. Who would have thought?
It's
Daddy Dracula.
Daddy's real.
Dracula.
Dude, yeah. What is
Oh, my dad's 500,000 years old.
that motherfucker old as fuck.
yeah. yeah. What is one thing that you'll bring with you as a player from this campaign?
Probably being able to having my characters talk more.
Thank God. Dude, when your characters are quiet, I'm like, is Crowe here? Like, I don't know. Like, I want him to be. You good? Yeah, I'm fine. All right, bye, chef.
Infighting is bad.
Yeah, you fucking dumbasses.
So, infighting can be entertaining, but yes, it is. Yeah.
Whenever it goes on too long, it's too much sometimes.
We couldn't figure our shit out to save our lives.
No, because it was fucked. I kept getting freebie shots on him, and you took him away from me like 4 fucking times. You fucking cunt.
Yeah.
I solved it.
Yeah.
I think I'll take from Honas the ability to fucking have fun without needing to speak.
It's
I didn't need to say a goddamn word, and I was having the time of my life.
I like how it's like, you shut up, you keep talking.
Drugs.
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 Oh wow. Okay. What is something that you would change about something that we did in this campaign? I think it ended great. I think we put a good bow on it, and it will continue to continue. But what is one thing you wish you could change about this story? Not just like the campaign, like what you did, but like the story.
Xan is casting the dumbass fucking spell on DeGale before DeGale died, leading to him causing his death.
I don't apologize for shit. I thought it would work.
Eldritch blasting Vizal.
fucking moron.
But think about it.
I have never been more proud of Gary in that moment because I was like, you know damn right that your character thinks this and this is the wrong decision as a player. Yes, you did the right thing. Or how about not murdering your fucking horse with good berry pie? Also one of the funniest fucking moments.
Okay.
That's probably the funniest one.
I have never seen Crowe so upset that I took it and ran with it because he was like, I didn't think about this. What?
I told him, I told Gorge that I would feed him all the good berries. And I did, but then I killed him.
Any closing remarks? Or no, shit, sorry. If you finished, what are things you would change?
I would have liked to explore the other part of the continent a little more.
Oh,
Hello.
we're about to end. Sorry, what'd you say?
To change about the story, probably explore the other part of the continent earlier.
Yeah.
We left a lot of world off the table.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back to it at some point, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that Xanas need to do differently.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the way it panned out because I like that there's more story to tell. But anyway,
Maybe not considering genocide, so my brother didn't try and murder me.
that's a great.
Yeah.
Don't consider
That's a start.
genocide. There we go. That's the start. All right. Well,
Shut the fuck up!
thanks everyone for
I'm
joining
aware
us.
of my mistakes, okay?
I hope that next campaign there's less infighting. We will see you guys next Wednesday, and don't die in the process, and love each other or whatever. I will not be in the seat.
Scott will be.